Do it here. Shoot, I forgot how fun this is. All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome into this year's edition of DHC Game Day. I am Cole Martin, as always, joined by Griffith Brimhall. Griff,
yes, sir.
It is a new season. I can't believe it.
And it is nice to be back. We got a whole lot of things prepared for you. We're streaming on YouTube this year. That's so we can work in some fun graphics. Hopefully, you'll see those throughout the lives, and then we'll be able to post them afterwards. So you can always go back and watch DHC Game Day.
Yes, absolutely. Unfortunately, we have to have 1,000 followers on Instagram to be able to stream. So, maybe follow us on Instagram, and we can start streaming again on Instagram.
Who knows? Maybe we'll purchase some followers.
We'll see how it goes. We were talking about that earlier, actually. I don't know if I could do that. Yeah, you want to give us the rundown?
Yeah. Well, first off, as always, thank you to the principal, Mr. Worrell, and Coach Mack, and just the Economy Athletic Department as a whole. They make it possible for us to be out here.
Absolutely.
We already ran down the major game day changes and tickets on Huddle. Just your quick reminder that we're not using GoFan anymore. We're using Huddle. And the beauty of Huddle is it is going to allow us to live stream the games, and you'll be able to access those afterwards.
Absolutely, Griff. All right, so that's the rundown for today. Also, not to mention, if you haven't noticed on our Instagram, we will be having a very, very special guest coming in tonight.
CJ Johnson.
CJ Johnson, DH Conley alum and ECU alum, and man, what a receiver he was. We'll talk about him later. But let's go ahead and jump into the other athletics here at Conley, other than football. Griff, how's cross country doing?
Cross country's been interesting. We had our first meet last Saturday. I got another meet tomorrow. I'm waking up at 5:45 for it. Hopefully, I won't be too tired. Just honestly, I love the sport. I have a great time, and we have a great team this year. We got 2 new coaches with Coach Whitehead and Coach Winkler, but they've been a joy to have. Running sucks, but man, the sport's fun.
Were y'all having to do bear crawls across the field? Did I see that?
You did see bear crawls across the field. Long story short, we didn't get the fundraisers in on time.
Oh,
so
no.
Bear crawls end zone to end zone.
Oh man. Well, I tell you what, I don't know about you, but soccer's been doing pretty well, even though we've only had 1 game. That is.
Yeah, I wasn't able to.
We all want to know to start the season, so I'll take it.
And Cole might try to be a little more humble, but he did score in yesterday's match.
I did score a goal yesterday. Almost 2, Griff. I was very close to a second one. If I'm being honest.
And how much did y'all win by yesterday?
We won 5-0 against Havelock. It was 0-0 after the first half. Put up 5 in the second half. We had like 10 corners.
Really?
So we had a lot of set pieces that we weren't able to capitalize on yesterday. But don't you worry. We have been working on that, and we will try our best to capitalize on for you in the future.
And all sports coverage throughout the year. We're going to try to make it out to a few volleyball games, basketball games, baseball games.
Speaking of volleyball.
They
have a huge match tomorrow against the reigning state champs, Cardinal Gibbons, who went 22-0 last year, Griff. Didn't lose the game.
Yeah.
And they actually beat Conley in the regional final last year, 3-0 in sets. And so, big match tomorrow. Conley is yet to drop a set this year.
Really?
They are yet to drop a set in volleyball. Not a match, just a set.
And
so, they've been playing really, really well.
I need to go ahead and put it out there. High school OT went ahead and released their preseason volleyball rankings, and Conley was second, which is incredible to have. And the only team beating them was Cardinal Gibbons. So, of course, super big match today. We'll look to try to post the scores, I believe, even if we're not there in person. We'll try to keep you posted so you know how that went. And, I mean, volleyball in general, they're incredible. Like,
yes.
Brittany Silver.
Year in, year out.
Brittany Silver's coming to the NC State.
That's right.
If I'm not mistaken.
You are correct.
So she'll be playing there. And then they've just got a lot of set pieces out of return this year. So we're looking for a state championship run.
I'm very hopeful for that as well. You know, I was really looking forward to a state championship run with softball, and they made it to softball to do it.
Yeah,
but with that being said, let's move on to our first segment of the night. And that's actually our schedule predictions for Conley football.
Yes, sir.
What we think is going to happen in each game. So starting off tonight versus Laney, we will make our picks later. So I say we save that for later. The next game, next week, they are taking on Northeastern. I'm not going to lie, Griff. I don't know a whole lot about Northeastern.
I know nothing about Northeastern. Not a thing.
You know, as much as I know, I might as well be in a tie. I mean, really. But
let's be honest. We got to pick Conley.
You have to. I'm putting a W down here.
Part of them want to know.
Yes.
Tentatively, we'll get to Laney's game later.
Farmville Central. That's going to be they'll put up a good fight.
Be honest, Cole. Be honest.
I think Conley has a good shot. Year in, year out, Farmville Central typically does have a decent team. But this one's on the road also.
Of course.
This is a difficult choice.
No Conley crazies to cheer them on.
I might have to save my pick. Where are you going with?
See, here's where I'm just kind of torn. Because I haven't necessarily seen Conley play this year. I know they did lose some good players, which we will hit on later. So I'm not completely certain. I know you know more about sports than I do, and you know more about these schools in Greenville, so I'm going to have to agree with you here.
Okay. So we're going to mark a W here, I think, is what we're going to go with for Farmville Central. Next up, at Garner. Once again, I don't know much about Garner, but it's another road matchup. I feel like, back-to-back games on the road, and then you have a third game in a row here at Gardner. I just feel like maybe some fatigue's going to happen, and I think they're going to take a loss versus Gardner.
See, I'm actually going to take a different path than you.
Okay.
I haven't really heard anything about Gardner, and when I think if they, let's say they lose that in Farmville, I think they're going to rally before they come back for another home game by beating Gardner at Gardner.
Okay. Wow. So you have them starting off.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and grab the pin real quick.
Yeah, go ahead. Mark your notes there. So potentially a 4-0 start here if you're saying that Laney's going to win, but or that Conley will beat Laney tonight. but we'll make that pick later.
Of course.
Next up, versus Aiden Grifton. This is a matchup that Aiden Grifton finally made playoffs last year after a playoff drought. And so I think here the Vikings are going to get back in the W column and take down Aiden Grifton.
Now, is Aiden Grifton in conference?
They are not.
They're not. Okay. That definitely changes pick. I'm still thinking their first home game in 3 games, I think that's just going to be such a boost to them. And
yes, I agree.
Having that student section there to cheer them on.
I absolutely agree.
We'll see the student section later today. And I think that's going to be an easier win for them, in fact.
Yes. Okay, so next up we have White Oak, and that is the
homecoming game.
That's the new conference opponent for the year. As you know, we had the 7A, 8A alignment, all that crazy stuff going on. Conley's now 7A, and White Oak is now in that conference, and they're 6A. Interesting matchup there. I'm pretty sure they typically do have good. I actually, I hate to say it, especially because it is at home here at Conley.
See, here's what I'm thinking. I'm looking at what I've written down. I actually went ahead and put my pick down for the Laney game. Not going to reveal it, but I put it down. Kind of how we make these decisions. I don't know what Conley's team is going to be like this year, and I don't know much about White Oak. What I know about White Oak is we faced them in swimming.
Okay.
And they were not
swimming.
They were not nearly as good at swimming as Conley was.
Okay.
Conley put up a legacy performance on them. And I don't know how that translates. And part of me wants to think, maybe White Oak's a smaller school. Maybe that's why we were able to put up such a dominant performance.
Yes.
And maybe if they're struggling to find swimmers, they might struggle to find football players as well.
Okay, so that's a fair assessment, I guess.
I've got to add in, it's the homecoming game.
Yes, it is.
I think last year we might not have the most dominant performance at homecoming, but I think that the players are going to kind of have that fuel. I think the student section will be even larger. The amount of parents that come out, triple, tenfold. And because of that,
next up we have at South Central. That was actually a matchup that we live streamed last year, and they took down South in that final game of the season to lock up that playoff spot. And once again, I think I'm going to mark a W here. Even with it being on the road, I just feel like that there's enough confidence there. I think that they can get it done on the road there.
Right, absolutely. That's interesting. So I'm sitting here, I'm thinking South Central. It's a road game, but it's not a true road game.
Right.
10 minutes away.
Exactly. More like a Duke UNC kind of.
Exactly.
thing.
So we're going to make the trip out for that.
Yes, absolutely.
And so I don't know if I'd really count that as a true home game. I'm kind of sitting there, I'm looking at it. South did have a good football team last year. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, well, they had a decent team.
Decent or good?
Okay-ish, but I mean. Go ahead, mark the W, Griff. Come on, you got.
I've got them taking most of the season in the wins. Honestly, I don't think that's crazy.
Our next
season.
Very tough matchup at home against New Bern.
We were at New Bern game last year.
Very bitter taste in my mouth thinking about that game last year. I'm not going to comment too much about what happened in that game.
Oh my goodness, it was interesting to say the least. I mean, you're sitting there, and there were just jeers from both sides. Some of it was on plays, some of it was on calls. It was just a very, I don't think anyone was happy with the game, with the way that game played out. So, I don't know, leaves a bitter taste.
Yeah, and as much as I hate to do this, I think I'm also going to mark an L here. New Bern typically has a really great team year in, year out. As we know, they won that state championship a few years. They got stripped from them.
Of course.
But I'm going to mark an L here. And for time's sake, I'm also going to give you my next 2 picks here. I don't know if you want to say your New Bern pick real quick.
New Bern, I'm taking the L as well.
Yeah. So our next matchup is on the road at Jacksonville. They had that stellar running back that actually committed to UNC and is there as a freshman.
We played Jacksonville at home last year?
June, yes. And he ended up torching Conley last year, unfortunately. But it's a new season. However, I feel like Jacksonville still is going to have that advantage.
I'm putting the L as well.
Especially on the road. I think it's going to go to Jacksonville. And then the most anticipated matchup
Halloween night.
Whole season. Halloween night. The very last game of the season, senior night, versus J.H. Rose High School. Let me tell you, Griff, about that game last year. Man, what a game it was last year at J.H. Rose.
You messed up my marking.
I'm sorry.
I was doing a nice little bubble letter.
It pumps me up thinking about that game last year, 45-42, down 21 points at one point in the third quarter, and still managed to come back and win. Incredible game. I mean, probably the best game I've seen in high school.
I was having a great time there.
Yes, I was too.
I'm putting a W.
I'm also going to put a W versus Rose, as it is at home. The seniors want to keep that belt. I think it's going to be a Conley dub And
All
so with that,
let's hop back to our next.
what was your final record there?
I'm not going to say.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. We don't want to have
we'll get into that later.
have that. Okay. Next up on the list, I don't even know where my papers are here. Give me just a moment. I'm lost here, Griff. There we go.
We have Conley and Laney through the years. We got stats and we have impact players. And it looks like our interview guest might be here right now.
Is he really?
So I think we go through these next few segments pretty quickly.
We can. He can go ahead and have a seat.
All right, real quick. Conley and Laney through the years. We have played Conley the past 4 seasons, and we are 1-3 over that span.
Yes.
2021, Laney beat us. 34-24, 10-point difference. Close enough.
Yes.
2022, that's Conley's win. We took down Laney 17-10. Cole, what happened in 2023?
2023 was rough. You know, thinking about that matchup, they hung 60 on us. But a lot to look forward to. Yes, a lot to look forward to that next year. Even though it was a loss, a lot closer of a game, 21-17. I wasn't able to make that game, unfortunately, but they were winning at one point in that third quarter. Ended up not being able to hold on.
Yeah,
to
it was interesting.
And so they lost that game. And so now here we are.
And let's go into stats real quick.
Yes, let's
run through these.
Run through the stats.
You want to take Laney, or you want me to, and you take Conley?
You take Laney.
All right, Laney. We put down one impact player for Laney, and that is Joseph McPherson. He's a senior. I assume this stands for middle linebacker.
Yeah, middle linebacker, yeah.
70 total tackles. He led the team. He had 1 sack, 3 interceptions, led the team in that as well. 1 fumble recovery. Now, I assume this is stats for Laney in total. They went 6-5 last year, 5-2 in the conference. So dominant conference play.
Yes, it was. But I mean, honestly, just looking at these stats when I was writing them down, they didn't seem all that impressive. I don't know if you want to continue on here.
Well, I just got to put.
They sure did. Yes.
And typically a senior, right? So that's 19 varsity. Now their starting quarterback last year, is that Kolb or Colby? We're going with Colby.
That's Colby. Yes.
Colby Little, senior, finished 90th in the state with 1,646 yards. They ran plays that were split between 7 different running backs.
That's impressive right there.
That's impressive. And their primary receiver had 600 yards and 4 touchdowns. Cole put down that the team is not good offensively. Not going to comment on that. Averaged 23.7 points per game and above national average of 19.4. I don't even know what that means.
It's all good.
And the defense allowed an average of 25.4 points per game.
Yes. And so moving on with DH Conley, our impact players. Man, I cannot say enough about these guys. Senior quarterback Samari Cabell, he's been balling out these past few seasons. Last year was 61st in the state with 2,000 yards. His touchdown interception ratio was 15-14, 56% completion